Free lives, free experiences, one powerful truth. From India and Malaysia to the United States, people who discovered how the law of attraction could transform their lives. Hello and welcome to the channel. Today, we'll look at the real stories of 3 people who improved their financial situation through faith and belief in the law of attraction. These are their true stories, stories of hope, faith, and transformation. If these stories inspire you, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Alright, let's jump into these amazing stories.
Hi, I'm Jennifer from Boston. I wanted to share my experience with The Secret and the Law of Attraction with you. I still remember the first time I heard about The Secret. I laughed and thought, who would believe this nonsense? But now, I'm proud to say, I was wrong. 6 years later, my life was falling apart. Promising relationships turned into painful betrayals. Bills piled up. I was drowning in debt and loneliness, wondering how much more I could take. One day, I remembered a friend who once mentioned The Secret. I decided to read it again, with an open mind. And this time, the words felt different, as if they were speaking directly to me. Following the teachings, I wrote down everything I wanted in my ideal partner, every positive trait I could imagine. 5 months later, I met him. Kind, thoughtful, supportive, exactly as I had written. 3 months later, that very list slipped out from between the book's pages. I couldn't believe my eyes, he matched every single word I had written. That moment, I knew nothing was a coincidence. I kept believing. I wrote myself a secret check with a specific amount. Weeks later, I followed my intuition and bought a lottery ticket. When I scratched it, I had won $50,000. That's when I whispered, "This is the secret at work." Later, filled with faith, I applied for a dream job. Just hours after sending my resume, they called. I was hired instantly, with the exact salary I had written on my secret check. Looking back, I realized The Secret wasn't just a book, it was the light that guided me through the dark. Now I know, when you truly believe, the universe listens.
Hi, I'm Demeta. I'm from India. 2 months ago, I discovered The Secret in a bookstore. I love reading, so I went inside, and this book caught my eye in the window. I was drawn to its cover design and its title, and immediately I picked it up and started reading. Oh my God! After reading just a few lines, I was amazed. I had never realized that I could actually control my life simply through my thoughts. Before reading The Secret, like most people, I tended to focus on negative things. But after that, I began to thank God for every good thing in my life, and gradually, my life started to change. Since I run my own business, I had been facing financial difficulties because my clients would pay me late, while I had to pay my bills on time, like rent for my home, rent for my office, and other expenses. I was in a tough situation because I couldn't collect money from my clients, yet I still had to pay my bills. So, I read The Secret again and started repeating this phrase, "I am a money magnet." Money comes to me easily, repeatedly, and abundantly. I made it a point to repeat this at least 3 times a day. Wow! On the very first day I did this, a client appeared, bought some of my products, and paid in cash. The amount I received was exactly equal to the bill I needed to pay. I was amazed and overjoyed. I thanked God for it and continued this practice every day, attracting new clients daily. Then, because I felt so happy and confident, I stopped repeating the phrase, and guess what happened? My business slowed down again. I resumed repeating the money-attracting phrase, and orders started coming in once more. I have to say, this method is incredibly effective and works astonishingly fast.
Love the first 2 stories. Hit subscribe, like, and ring the bell. The next one's even better.
I'm Faith. I live in Malaysia. This happened just a week ago. For several months since I started my new job, I had been struggling with financial problems. Clients were giving me work orders, but their payments were always delayed. I had reached a point where I had only a few ringgits left in my wallet. Despite that, I wasn't worried or anxious. Every day, I practiced meditation and imagined having enough money for everything I needed. But last week, I found myself in urgent need of cash. I didn't have enough money for laundry or even food, so I messaged my boyfriend to ask if he could lend me some. He didn't reply. Then my father called me. He asked if I had enough money. I didn't want to make him worry, so I told him I had just enough to get by for a few more days. He offered to lend me some money if I came home, but I said, "It's okay, I can handle it." After hanging up, I suddenly felt the urge to check my bank account. To my surprise, I had more than 700 ringgits in it, when before, there had been only 10. I was overjoyed and deeply grateful. I kept saying, "Thank you, God. Thank you so much." I even called my dad to share the good news. After a bit of checking, I found out that the money was my tax refund. I was thrilled because I hadn't expected to receive it at all. I withdrew some of it for laundry and food, then went back to my hometown and treated my family to a nice dinner. I truly believe that the more you give, the more you receive. I'm a strong believer in the law of attraction. Meditation has helped me quiet my mind and focus on my ideal life. Now, I'm working on attracting more clients and more money into my bank account. I hope my story inspires you.